Christopher Watts cried, shook and stared into his lap as a judge told him he would spend the rest of his life in prison for the murders of his pregnant wife and their 2 young daughters. But he spoke only once at his sentencing hearing, and that was to decline the opportunity to give a statement and perhaps answer the question gnawing at his relatives, his suburban Denver neighbors, and others: why? How could a seemingly normal husband and father annihilate his entire family? For what? District Attorney Michael Rourke said during the hearing on Monday. These are the questions that only one individual in this courtroom, or on this planet, knows the answers to. The court proceeding revealed a wealth of evidence prosecutors planned to use against Watts if the case went to trial. But with no insight from Watts, prosecutors said they could only guess that the murders were intended to give him a fresh start with a new girlfriend. With the approval of Shanann Watts' family, prosecutors agreed not to seek the death penalty in exchange for a guilty plea that would require the 33-year-old man to serve life in prison with no chance at parole. Judge Maslow Kopkow called it the most inhumane and vicious crime to cross his desk in 17 years after strangling his wife with his hands and smothering 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste last August. Watts loaded their bodies into his truck. GPS data showed that he drove to a rural oil work site owned by his employer, Rourke said. He spent a normal day at work and frequently texted his girlfriend, even as police began investigating his family's disappearance. He made calls to a real estate agent about selling the family home and told the girls' school that they would not enroll that fall as planned. Within days, he was charged with killing his family. The girls' bodies were found submerged in separate oil tanks on property owned by his employer. His wife's body was found in a shallow grave nearby. As a prosecutor detailed the injuries at Monday's hearing, Shanann Watts' father Frank Zusek leaned forward, gasping,